My name is Sofia Ramirez, 36 years old, and I walked into my restaurant on a Tuesday morning to find my father-in-law Harold sitting at my desk, interviewing candidates for positions I hadn't posted, while my manager stood in the corner looking terrified and confused. Harold looked up when I entered and said, "Sophia, perfect timing. I'm restructuring the staff to handle the increased volume now that we've merged the operations." What he didn't tell me was that he'd filed fraudulent partnership papers the day before claiming his bankrupt Italian restaurant and my thriving Mexican fusion place were now a single entity, which meant his $340,000 in debts and angry creditors could come straight for my business. When your husband's family tries to steal the restaurant you built from nothing, do you keep quiet to preserve family peace? Or do you call your business attorney and watch them learn what happens when you mess with someone who actually reads contracts? Let me take you back to 6 years ago when this restaurant was just a dream. I grew up in my abuela's kitchen in East Los Angeles, learning to make carnitas and mole from scratch, watching her turn simple ingredients into magic. After culinary school and 8 years working in other people's kitchens, I'd saved $85,000 and found a small space in Portland's Hawthorne district. 1,200 square feet, good foot traffic, affordable lease. I opened Casa Sofia in 2018. Mexican fusion with a modern twist. Short rib barbacoa tacos, duck confit tamales, mezcal cocktails with house-made syrups. Food critics loved it. The neighborhood loved it. Within 2 years, we were doing $1.2 million annually. By 2023, we'd expanded to 2,500 square feet, employed 15 people, and had a 6-week wait for weekend reservations. I met my husband Daniel in 2019. He was a high school teacher, kind and funny, nothing like the finance bros who usually hit on me at the bar. His parents, Harold and Patricia Brennan, owned Brennan's Italian Kitchen in Beaverton, a traditional red sauce place Harold's father had opened in 1987. It had been profitable for decades, but had declined steadily since 2015. Harold never adapted. Same menu from 1987. No online ordering. No delivery apps. No social media presence. When I'd suggest modernizing, he'd wave me off. "We've been doing this for 35 years. We know what works." Except it didn't work anymore. By 2022, Brennan's was hemorrhaging money. Harold had taken out loans against the building, maxed out business credit cards, fallen behind on supplier payments. Patricia begged him to close or sell, but Harold was stubborn. "This is my father's legacy. I'm not giving up." By early 2024, they were drowning. $340,000 in combined debts, bank loans, supplier accounts, unpaid taxes, credit cards. The building was in foreclosure. Creditors were calling daily. Daniel and I had been married for 2 years by then. We had a small house in southeast Portland, kept our finances separate per my insistence. I'd built my business before meeting him, and I wanted it protected. He understood. Harold started asking for advice in January 2024. Would come to Casa Sofia, watch service, ask questions about my suppliers, my costs, my profit margins. I assumed he was finally trying to learn. I answered honestly, gave recommendations, even connected him with my distributor who gave better prices than his old vendor. In March, he asked if I'd consider some kind of partnership. What kind of partnership? I asked carefully. Maybe we combine purchasing power. Order ingredients together, share suppliers. Save money for both of us. Harold, we serve completely different cuisines. My suppliers wouldn't help you. Right. Just thinking out loud. In April, he suggested I cater an event at Brennan's, his idea of cross-promotion. I declined politely. Too busy with my own restaurant. May came, and Harold got more aggressive. "Sophia, you're family now. Family helps family. Patricia and I are struggling. Could you loan us $50,000 to catch up on debts? We'll pay you back within 6 months. Harold, I can't risk my business capital. I'm sorry. Your business wouldn't exist without the Brennan name opening doors for you in this community." That was a lie. The Brennan name meant nothing in Hawthorne. I'd built Casa Sofia entirely on my own reputation. "I'm sorry," I repeated. "The answer is no." He stopped speaking to me after that. Family dinners got awkward. Daniel was caught in the middle, asking me to reconsider, saying his parents were desperate. I held firm. Then came Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. I arrived at Casa Sofia at 9 a.m. for inventory and prep before lunch service. When I walked through the front door, I found Harold sitting at my desk in the small office, interviewing a middle-aged woman for what sounded like a server position. My manager, Carlos Mendoza, stood in the corner looking like a hostage. "Carlos, what's going on?" I asked. Harold answered before Carlos could speak. "Sophia, perfect timing. I'm conducting interviews for the merged staff. We'll need additional servers once we consolidate operations." "Consolidated operations? What are you talking about?" Harold stood, smiling like he'd done something generous. "I filed the partnership paperwork yesterday. Brennan's and Casa Sophia are now operating under unified family management. It makes financial sense, combine resources, share costs, streamline operations. Your mother-in-law and I will oversee Brennan's location. You'll manage this location, but we're legally one entity now. Much more efficient." My blood went cold. "You filed what paperwork?" "Partnership agreement. Business merger. All very standard. My attorney handled it." "Harold, you can't merge businesses without consent from both parties. This is my restaurant. I never agreed to anything. Your family. Daniel signed on your behalf as your spouse. Daniel has no authority to sign business documents for me. Casa Sophia is my sole proprietorship, registered in my name only." Harold's smile faltered. "Well, the paperwork is filed. It's done. We can work out the details, but the main thing is we're protecting both businesses now. If Brennan's goes down, it affects the whole family. This way, we're stronger together." I pulled out my phone, called my attorney Marcus Tobin immediately. "Marcus, emergency. I need you at Casa Sophia right now." While we waited, I asked Harold, "Where's this supposed paperwork?" He handed me a folder. Inside was a document titled Family Business Partnership Agreement and Asset Consolidation. It listed Brennan's Italian Kitchen and Casa Sophia as jointly owned family restaurant operations under unified management structure. It was dated June 10th, signed by Harold Brennan, and I looked closer, a forged signature that was supposed to be mine. "This isn't my signature. Daniel signed for you. As your husband, he has the right." He absolutely does not. And this document is fraud. The woman Harold had been interviewing quietly left. Marcus arrived within 20 minutes. He took one look at the document, and his face went hard. "Harold, did you file this with the state?" "My attorney filed it yesterday with the Secretary of State's office." "And you forged Sophia's signature?" "Daniel signed." "Daniel isn't authorized to sign corporate documents on Sophia's behalf. Casa Sophia is a single-member LLC with Sophia as the sole owner and registered agent. This is forgery and fraudulent filing." Marcus pulled out his phone, started making calls. Harold's confidence was cracking. "This is a misunderstanding. We're family. I was trying to help. Help yourself to Sophia's profitable business while your own is failing," Marcus said coldly. "Let me explain what you actually did. By filing fraudulent partnership papers claiming these businesses are merged, you attempted to make Sophia liable for Brennan's debts. Your creditors could come after Casa Sophia's assets. Your bank could pursue her business accounts, and your bankruptcy would drag her down with you. This isn't a merger. It's theft." "That's not what my attorney said." "Who's your attorney?" "Leonard Walsh. He's been with our family for years." Marcus made a note. "Leonard Walsh handles wills and real estate closings. He has no business filing corporate partnership agreements. Did you tell him Sophia consented to this?" Harold didn't answer. "You lied to your attorney, forged documents, and filed fraudulent paperwork to steal Sophia's business assets. That's criminal fraud, Harold. Multiple felonies." Patricia arrived then, Daniel right behind her. Someone had called them. "What's happening?" Patricia asked, looking between Harold and me. "Your husband tried to steal my restaurant," I said flatly. Daniel looked at his father. "Dad, what did you do?" "I was trying to save both businesses. If we combine resources, we can weather this together. By making Sophia liable for your $340,000 in debts," Marcus said, "because that's what this fraudulent merger would do. Every creditor Brennan's owes could pursue Casa Sophia's assets." Patricia went white. "Harold, you didn't. We're out of options. The bank is foreclosing. Suppliers are suing us. I needed to protect something. So you decided to destroy Sophia's business to save yours?" Daniel's voice was shaking. "Dad, how could you?" Marcus was already on his phone again. "I'm filing emergency motions to dissolve this fraudulent partnership and to compel the Secretary of State to remove the filing. I'm also reporting the forged signature to the DA's office. Sophia, do you want to press charges?" I looked at Harold. At this man who'd smiled at our wedding, who'd told me I was like a daughter, who'd apparently been planning this theft for months while pretending to ask for advice. Yes, I said. Press charges. Patricia started crying. Daniel looked like he might be sick. Harold collapsed into a chair. Sophia, please, Patricia begged. He made a mistake. He's desperate. Don't destroy our family over this. He tried to destroy my business. My livelihood. Everything I built. Marcus filed the emergency motions that afternoon. By Thursday, we were in front of a judge, Honorable Sandra Martinez, Business Court. Marcus presented the original LLC documents for Casa Sofia showing sole ownership by Sofia Ramirez. He presented the fraudulent partnership agreement with the forged signature. He presented evidence that Daniel had no signing authority and that Harold had lied to his attorney about obtaining consent. Harold's attorney, Leonard Walsh, who looked like he wanted to dissolve into the floor, admitted he'd relied on Harold's representation that all parties had agreed to the merger. Judge Martinez was not amused. Mr. Brennan, you forged legal documents and filed fraudulent paperwork with the state in an attempt to make your daughter-in-law liable for your business debts. This is not a business dispute. This is fraud. Your Honor, I was trying to keep my family together. By stealing from family? Mr. Brennan, the partnership filing is dissolved effective immediately. The Secretary of State will be ordered to remove it from record and flag the filing as fraudulent. Ms. Ramirez's business is protected. And I'm referring this matter to the District Attorney for criminal prosecution. Harold was charged with fraud, forgery, and attempted theft by deception, 3 felonies. He took a plea deal, 2 years probation, full restitution of my legal fees, $28,000, and permanent restraining order preventing him from coming within 500 feet of Casa Sofia or filing any documents related to my business. Brennan's Italian Kitchen closed in August 2024. The building was foreclosed. Harold and Patricia moved to a rental apartment in Tigard. Daniel and I separated in September. Not divorced yet, but living apart. He chose to stay with his parents, helped them through bankruptcy, couldn't reconcile that I'd pressed charges against his father. He made a mistake, Daniel said during our last real conversation. He tried to steal my restaurant, I replied. He's my father. And I'm your wife. Or I was. We're still legally married but haven't spoken in months. Casa Sofia is thriving. We hit $1.4 million in revenue this year. I promoted Carlos to general manager. Hired 3 new servers. Added a Sunday brunch menu that's been wildly successful. And I changed all the locks, updated all my corporate documents, added extra security measures to prevent anyone from accessing my business records without written authorization. Last week, Patricia sent a letter. Handwritten, delivered to the restaurant. Sophia, Harold did something terrible. I know that. But he was scared and desperate and made the worst possible choice. He's not evil. He's just a broken man who lost everything. I hope someday you can forgive him. And I hope you and Daniel can find your way back to each other. Patricia, I keep the letter in my desk drawer. Haven't responded. Don't know if I will. Because here's what I learned. Family isn't immunity. Marriage isn't permission to steal. And when someone tries to take what you built, you don't stay quiet to keep the peace. You fight with everything you have. Harold thought he could merge our restaurants to save his failing business. Instead, he destroyed his family, earned a criminal record, and learned that the chef he underestimated had better lawyers than he did. Casa Sofia is mine. Solely, legally, permanently mine. And no one, family or otherwise, will ever take that from me again.